everybody, it's Dragon Project, and we are here for another episode of GME Reviews. And today we got a special guest, JUGTHEONE.
Yeah, Jug, what's going on, YouTube world?
And so, yeah, we're just here to discuss an amazing game that I feel like often is like swept under the rug, and it is actually Gwent. And if you guys don't know what Gwent is, it is a game from a game called The Witcher. The Witcher 3. Gwent is the shit. It is an amazing game, and JUGTHEONE has been playing Gwent, and I just wanted to have an open forum and open discussion on like what makes Gwent so great, and possibly what are its faults. I guess for starters, like what do you feel like what makes Gwent so great?
Gwent is my obsession right now. Every day after work, 2 to 3 hours before the gym, Gwent. When I come home from the gym, Gwent. But really what makes Gwent that game that you're like, well, I can't put it down, is the strategy and that adrenaline that just really makes you be like, man, when I play this card, or I don't know what card I'm going to get out of my deck of 25 cards, which you can go to 40. It's when you play that card and you're like, man, I'm about to lose this match. Final match. And then you hold on to that card and you're hoping that the competitors that you're playing against is like not going to play a card that could kill this final card you got, or the last 3 cards you got, the strategy you set up. And when they make a mistake, or when they play something and you're like, oh, that wasn't that bad, and you put that card down and the game's over and you won it, it's that satisfaction of competition and actually winning that makes Gwent such a good game.
No, yeah, man, I play Gwent, and I definitely feel like it is, that level of competition is amazing, and I think one of the things that makes Gwent such a crazy game is the fact that it's not just about the cards, as it's, somebody can have the best cards, but then once those cards, like if they use them in the wrong way, or they play all the cards at one, or because every now and then you encounter people like that, and you're like, yes, that's your mistake, you got too cocky. And that's the thing about Gwent that like really is, it's not just about brute strength,
right?
And that's something that most games I feel like don't really achieve, because it is one of those things where it's like the strongest usually wins.
Right. I mean, really, to all the Gwent players out there, all you level 50s and I don't know, rank 45. Oh, yeah, Jug is coming for you, right? JUGTHEONE is coming for you, because I've played a couple of you, and you have made my life a living hell in some matches, but then there's other matches where I actually win. But the thing about Gwent, to what Dragon Project is talking about, is that Gwent itself, it doesn't matter. You could buy all the gold cards, all the silver cards. You can have the perfect setup. You can go online, and you can be the Nilfgaards and do a whole reveal strategy. You can be the Skelligard and do the whole damage your own allies to gain your points back strategy. At the end of the day, it's really that mixture of those 25 plus cards that you get in that deck, and it mixes around, and you don't know what card you're going to get. You have to think on the fly of the strategy that you had when you don't have the cards that you set up for that strategy. And I think that's what makes Gwent such a popular game, such an amazing game to play.
Yeah, very true. It is one of those. It's a game that kind of causes you have to think. It's like chess, And it's what's so funny is that like this is a game that like really is like a maximum strategy game, where you could have a base deck and still whoop some of these like high end people. I mean, I'm not there yet. I'm not gonna lie. I get whooped by JUGTHEONE all the time.
Part of the card. Part of the card.
But I definitely, it's one of those things to where it's like I definitely see. I'm like, oh dang, I could have did that. Or it's not just like, oh, this person is just like this person has this unbreakable strategy. It's like, no, you more so reflect on your personal strategy and what you could do better. And I think that's one of the things that makes Gwent such an interesting game, because like I said, it's like chess.
Again, for everybody out there who's either played Gwent or hasn't played Gwent and try to understand why they're so hyped about Gwent, why is everything today's talk is all about, all these things are fun. It's a game that not only, it's an any age game. I mean, at any age can you play it. The cards themselves, yes, sometimes they have little graphics on them that may be not age appropriate for some kids, But as a parent whose child is obsessed with it, as a teenager or as a young adult, new professional, anybody who's like, man, I don't really have 6-8 hours to put into The Witcher 3. Wonderful game, by the way. But I want to give this Gwent 1 or 2 hours. I guarantee you that 1 or 2 hours you spend, not just with yourself, but friends, family, significant other, when you play this Gwent game, you're going to be like, man, this is fun. And that's what this is about. That's what Gwent is. It's a game where you have to use your brain, and you can't give up just because you're like, I don't have the card that I exactly wanted. This is not the card I wanted in my strategy, but it's using your opponent's strengths and weaknesses through their cards that makes Gwent an amazing game.
Yeah, and that's a good point, actually. You know, just the idea of, you know, The Witcher, like, you know, I mentioned before, and Jug just mentioned, is an amazing game. It's great. We'll get into the fact that how The Witcher Gwent is different than the actual Gwent game itself. But this game is great because you don't, you know, roughly the longest match that I've had probably takes around like 12 minutes. You know, when you're really into it and it's just an intense battle.
Going toe to toe.
Exactly. But it's a game where you can play like several matches, you know, in an hour, and it's like that. It's satisfying. You know, it's not this incredibly drawn out match type. And yeah, if you're just, you know, living, working, and existing, this might, you know, this is, and you need a challenge, you want a challenge, you want something where you can slow, like, this is a life. I was talking to Jug recently. It was like, this is a life game. You know, this is a lifelong game. It's like I damn near want to get like the cards, the actual cards. I mean, they're kind of expensive, but you know, just
the
so
real card deck, people.
Yeah.
Gwent is a real game. If you've played Yu-Gi-Oh, Yu-Gi-Oh can get very convoluted, but it's a great game. Don't get me wrong.
Yu-Gi-Oh's dope.
The cartoon Yu-Gi-Oh, hands down, we're nerds, we love it.
Yes.
But this game, literally, you read the cards. They're very short statements of what the card does. You buy the actual physical copy of it, and you play with people. They're gonna first be like, I don't know, a card game strategy, Dungeons and Dragons type thing. Give them a deck. Give them 25 cards. Let them start playing and see that fun of it. Mm-hmm. It's a great game.
It is, and you know, it's funny because it's like, you know, the idea. So usually, whenever you play Gwent in, like The Witcher, you're playing it in like a tavern or something like that, right? And you kind of get that vibe. Like that's what it's like. That's the vibe of kind of playing Gwent, right? It's like, so when you have, I don't have the actual cards, but I think it definitely could easily be, you know, implemented as like a party game. Mm-hmm. You know, you got a bunch of friends around, curious about playing a card game, and just even want to watch like what's going to go down and like what's going to happen. It definitely has that that potential. You know, moving to.
So what we're gonna do right now, like Dragon Project said, is we're gonna get into a couple of questions. So Dragon Project, I'm gonna take it away with at least question number 1. Mm-hmm. Now, playing Gwent yourself, what would you say the faction that has the best gold cards?
The faction that has the best gold cards. You know, I would say it is either what's the elf?
Like soulless something. See, we don't even know all the names.
Well, okay, yeah, I know.
The dwarves and the elves. That's
the dwarves and exactly. Faction. So we don't. So obviously, like, we like this game. We just wanted to have like a discussion on it. We've been playing it for a minute, but obviously not as long as like some of probably you guys. But I would, from what I've seen, the elf and dwarf deck definitely has some amazing gold cards. They seem the most the gold cards for that deck remind me of cards that affect every other card, right? It's like it's very like boosting friendly. I can't remember what card it was, but I remember one card where it was like it just helps every other card that you've almost played, which is amazing. But my favorite, I mean, I have to, you know, the Nilfgaard deck is just my deck. Like I love the spies. I love all that stuff. I like how those gold cards are like really focused on. They're like precision. You know, it's like I'm here to do this specific thing. You know, and then like I have this 1-go card, and Jug hates it. But whenever we play together, but it's this 1-go card. Can't remember the name. It's a 1, but it allows you to resurrect the leader card.
Craziness.
And then
just crazy, pure insanity.
And then yeah, and like my personal favorite leader card is it's a 7, and it allows you to play a card and then bring a card that was on the deck. Bring a card that was on the field back into your hand.
And this is the Emperor's card. Excuse me, the Emperor's card for the Nilfgaard, number 7, the one and only, the king among kings.
It is his card, and I don't know. I just like that level of precision. It's like, okay, so this is what this card is here to do. I'm not gonna lie, I have a hard time kind of understanding like what every card means or how to kind of
gotta read the card.
Now, even though Jug is always getting at me for
read the card. Dragon Project is not.
I read those cards. Okay, I don't care what he says. I'm reading those cards.
Not reading the cards.
But the thing is, it's just like it's kind of confusing. So I will kind of say one of the deterrents of the game is trying to figure out what all this stuff means in each very different situation. Yeah, fraction, but also when situations vary. Now I have a question for Jug, and my question is, what do you dislike about Gwent? What are the things that you're like, even if it's not necessarily something strong, but something that you're just kind of like, this should be changed.
For me, the biggest thing about Gwent, which they are working on and I've seen, because Gwent is still in the beta format, the biggest thing that I want them to change and focus on is when people forfeit, you need to get all your salvage, all your experience, and you need to win that match. I don't care if they back out.
That is huge.
I don't care if they back out right when the game starts or when they're in the middle of the match or if their computer gets stuck or their PlayStation or Xbox gets stuck, because Gwent is definitely big on that. Gwent, if you're listening, I'm telling you gotta update this beta. This beta is getting played across the world and is amazing. But when people forfeit or they back out, you need to let that person who still stayed in the game get their salvage, get their points, get their money.
Yes.
They need it all.
No, exactly. That is exactly my biggest frustration with this game. I think Gwent is amazing, but it's like when you do all this and you get to this point, especially when you're playing with like higher. You guys, you probably know this. You guys that play Gwent know this. Playing with somebody higher than
high
you,
level people quit the most.
They quit the most,
man.
And it is extremely
frustrating. I know some of you people on Twitch who show videos when you're just trying to show people how to play, you quit all the time because you think they don't have a card and they have it, and then you quit, you forfeit. But and it's crazy.
It is crazy because it we don't get the people, your opponent doesn't get the points that they deserve.
Right. At the end of the day, you can't update your game because someone forfeited. So
it's
gotta
enough.
Change it. Gotta change it. Queen. Gotta change it.
It's enough. It is enough to make you not want to to want to take a break at the very least. In Gwent. But yeah, just to wrap this segment up, personally, I'll say that Gwent is still, despite obviously just the discussion of like its faults, an amazing game. It brings it's amazing because it brings a quality of competition that is not often found in most games, to where you feel like anybody at any level could beat anyone else if they're playing right. If they're aware of the amount of cards that they use, if you're aware of having some kind of reservation to your bet, holding out for strategy for the second round, or third round, and it really is a game that causes you to think.
Work that brain muscle. Right? Gwent makes you work your brain muscle because you're going to learn that sometimes you just want to pass. Other times you want to press. Yeah. Other times you want to press the opponent and make that opponent feel like, okay, I shouldn't have passed. There's resilience. which is a great cards to have. Cards that have resilience on them, they stay on the deck for the next turn. So yeah, a person might have more cards than you, but in reality they don't, because if you got 2 or 3 different cards that have resilience on and that person didn't destroy those cards, man, you're up on the next round. You're already up 5, 6, 7, even if you're up 1. Sometimes the whole strategy of Gwent is just to make that person who may have a deck that's quote-unquote stronger than yours play a card they didn't want to play, just so you can make them feel like, I messed up my strategy. Always mess up a strategy. And that's the great thing that it is about Gwent. That's the only thing that I wanted to say, is that when you think your strategy is the best, there's always something, some card, some item, some mage, anything that you can select out of the factions that'll mess that strategy up. And no matter how great you are, no matter how much you follow along the lines of what somebody tells you is a great strategy, at the end of the day, it's all about believing in the cards, believing in your strategy, and working that brain muscle to make them feel like it's over, and then pouncing back and it's not.
Excellent description. Thank you guys so much for listening to GME Reviews. Yeah, and if you'd love to support us, click that link below. It'd be great if you were to contribute whatever it is that you could contribute to keep our channel alive and healthy. Thank you for listening. Thank you for listening. Thank you for listening.
JUGTHEONE wants to say, Dragon Project, I appreciate you for having me on. YouTube world out there, GME, man, reviews, support it. Put the likes on. You know what it is. To the YouTube world out there, I appreciate you. See me online if you ever want to. Xbox Ones all day, Xbox 360 people who still got it. I remember the roots. I see you. Halo, we do it. Dragon Project, you the man. We out.
Hey, thank you guys so much for supporting GME Reviews. You guys have a good day. Take care.